In the bustling city of Jiko, renowned for its towering skyscrapers and extravagant displays of wealth, lived the Afolabi family. Their only son, Kwesi, a handsome young man with a kind heart, was burdened by his parents' relentless pressure to marry. Unlike his peers, captivated by fleeting beauty and lavish dowries, Kwesi longed for a wife grounded in character and responsibility. Frustrated with the shallow women Jiko offered, Kwesi hatched a daring plan. He disguised himself as a destitute man and ventured to the neighboring village of Asha, famed for its genuine and hardworking people. Here, Kwesi, now calling himself Kofi, would find a wife based on her inner qualities, not her social standing. His parents, appalled by the idea, argued for weeks. "Our son, a beggar." "Unthinkable," his father boomed. But Kwesi was resolute. "Let me search for true love on my own terms," he pleaded. Finally, his parents relented, fearing a rebellion more than the sight of their son in rags. With a heavy heart, Kwesi shed his luxurious robes for tattered clothes. He neglected his usually immaculate hair, leaving it untamed and wild. With a knapsack filled with only the bare essentials, he ventured to the bus stop, a nervous tremor running through his hands. There, fate intervened. A kind bus driver named Eo, noticing Kofi's despair, offered not just a ride but hospitality. Eo, touched by Kofi's fabricated story of losing his fortune, took him to Asha, a village nestled amidst rolling hills and vibrant fields. Kofi, despite the initial discomfort, felt a strange peace settle over him. Here, in Asha, true wealth seemed to lie not in gold but in the warmth of its people. Asha unfolded itself before Kofi's eyes. Unlike Jiko's concrete jungle, here mud houses huddled together, their thatched roofs blending seamlessly with the green landscape. Children chased each other, their laughter echoing through the dusty streets. Kofi, though clad in ragged clothes, felt oddly conspicuous. Every curious glance sent a jolt through him. Eo's wife, a woman with a kind smile and eyes that held the wisdom of years, welcomed Kofi into their modest home. The room he shared with Eo's children was small, with a woven mat serving as a bed. Yet, it held a sense of comfort Kofi hadn't experienced in his opulent Jiko life. The next morning, reality hit. Kofi needed a job. He approached the village square, a vibrant hub of activity. Women sold colorful fabrics, their voices a rhythmic melody. Men battered with each other, their laughter filling the air. Kofi, feeling utterly lost, stood awkwardly, his stomach churning with a mix of nervousness and hunger. Suddenly, a booming voice startled him. "Looking for work, son?" A burly man with a thick beard stood before him. He introduced himself as Baba Jomo, the village elder. Kofi, hesitant at first, poured out his story, omitting the prince bit, of course. Baba Jomo, impressed by Kofi's honesty and willingness to work hard, offered him a job. Kofi's new position, pushing a wheelbarrow. From the bustling market square, he'd ferry groceries purchased by women to their homes. The job was grueling. The scorching sun beat down, and his arms ached from pushing the loaded wheelbarrow. Yet, Kofi found a strange satisfaction in it. Here, he was Kofi, the laborer, not Kwesi, the prince. The women he encountered were a mixed bag. Some, burdened by their chores, barely acknowledged him. Others, like Mama Aisha, a plump woman with a warm smile, offered him cool water and kind words. Kofi learned about their lives, their struggles, and their dreams. This was Jiko's elite never revealed to him, the struggles of ordinary people. Days turned into weeks. Kofi continued his routine, the aches in his muscles becoming a dull throb. One particularly hot afternoon, delivering groceries to a house at the far end of the village, he spotted two women emerging. One, tall and slender with a haughty demeanor, held her head high. The other, slightly shorter with gentle eyes, carried a heavy basket with a grimace. Kofi recognized the taller woman instantly. It was Amina, a woman he'd encountered at social gatherings in Jiko. Amina, known for her flamboyant behavior and shallow personality, was the last person Kofi expected to find in Asha. The girl with the basket, however, intrigued him. There was a quiet strength in her demeanor, a kindness that shone in her eyes, even under the burden of the basket. Kofi offered to help. Amina, with a disdainful sniff, refused, while the other girl, Adaora, looked at him with a grateful smile. As he carried their basket, relieving Adaora's burden, Kofi learned they were sisters. Amina, visiting Adaora for a few days, seemed bored by the village's simplicity. Adaora, on the other hand, spoke with a quiet passion about Asha, its people, and its traditions. Kofi felt a warmth bloom in his chest. Here, in this unlikely encounter, he'd found a glimpse of what he sought, a woman with a kind heart who valued simplicity over extravagance. But Amina's presence also stirred unease. Was Adaora, with her gentle spirit, living a shadow existence under Amina's domineering presence? That night, as he lay on his mat, Kofi wrestled with his thoughts. He longed to know Adaora better, to understand her dreams and aspirations. But would a simple wheelbarrow pusher be worthy of her? He had nothing to offer her except his honesty and newfound respect for a life based on hard work and genuine connection. Sleep, when it finally came, was filled with dreams of bustling markets, bright smiles, and a single pair of gentle eyes. Days morphed into weeks. Kofi's routine remained the same, pushing his wheelbarrow through the dusty streets, delivering groceries and exchanging greetings with the villagers. Amina, thankfully, had returned to Jiko, leaving Adaora to her quiet life. Kofi, whenever he encountered Adaora, felt his heart skip a beat. Her gentle smile and genuine conversations brought a joy he hadn't known existed. One sweltering afternoon, while delivering groceries to Mama Aisha, Kofi overheard a snippet of conversation that made him freeze. Mama Aisha, her voice laced with concern, was speaking to Adaora. And Baba Jomo says there's a wealthy merchant from Jiko interested in Amina. They say he's quite taken with her. Adaora's reply, though muffled, seemed laced with worry. Amina's potential marriage gnawed at Kofi. Did Adaora harbor feelings for her sister's suitor? The thought ignited a spark of possessiveness within him, a feeling foreign and unfamiliar. He dismissed it as protectiveness towards a kind soul overshadowed by a haughty sibling. That evening, after finishing his work, Kofi lingered around the village square. He spotted Adaora returning home, a basket of woven reeds slung over her shoulder. He gathered his courage and approached her. Adaora, he called out, his voice a touch shaky. Adaora turned, surprised. Kofi, she said, a smile gracing her lips. Good evening. Good evening, he replied. May I walk with you for a while? Adaora hesitated, then nodded. As they walked side by side, Kofi learned that Adaora wasn't just kind, she was also skilled in weaving beautiful baskets and mats. She dreamt of opening her own shop someday, showcasing her craft to the world. Sharing dreams under the vast expanse of the night sky felt oddly intimate. Kofi found himself drawn to Adaora's simple aspirations and unwavering spirit. He wanted to tell her about his true identity, about the life he left behind in Jiko. But a part of him feared rejection. How would a humble wheelbarrow pusher fare against a wealthy suitor from Jiko? Suddenly, Adaora stopped. Kofi, she began, her voice barely a whisper, is everything all right? You seem troubled. Kofi couldn't lie anymore. Not to her. He blurted out his anxieties about Amina's potential marriage and his fear for Adaora's happiness. As he spoke, a weight lifted from his chest. He felt a fragile trust blossoming between them. Adaora listened intently, her gaze never leaving his. When he finished, a small sigh escaped her lips. Kofi, She said softly, "My sister Amina doesn't share my dreams. She doesn't care for this village or its traditions. This marriage is what she wants. It will free her and allow her to pursue the life she desires." Relief washed over Kofi. But it was short-lived. Adaora continued, a sadness clouding her eyes. "There's something else, Kofi. Something I haven't told anyone." Intrigued and slightly concerned, Kofi urged her to continue. Adaora, after a long pause, revealed a secret that made his blood run cold.